Sector 2 of Conquest. We're going to break it down right now. Lots of cheesy goodness for you. Make sure you don't miss a thing. Smash that like button. Let's do this. Oh, the Sector 2 feats are not too bad. At first glance, they might seem a little bit dubious, a little bit horrible, but honestly, trust me, ladies and gentlemen, not terrible. Okay, so we need to win 14 battles with a full squad of bounty hunters. We also need to defeat 50 enemies with Empire units, and we need to gain potency up 40 times and confuse 40 times. So that potent calibration and confusion mechanics, they actually pair really well together. We can actually get a lot of them done very, very easily together. I'll show you a really good bit of cheese for that one. Next up, Imperial Troopers, or, well, we can use Imperial Troopers, but defeating 50 enemies with Empire units, again, not so bad. And the Bounty Hunters are the easiest one of the lot. So, when we're looking for it, I want you to keep an eye out for a couple of things. First and foremost, if you can find yourself a Hux lead crew node or even a crew lead first order node, I don't think they exist anymore, but if you find yourself a crew node, pick it up because that'll be very useful to you. I don't actually have one in this one. If you see something like Imperial Troopers over here, which has got lots of revive mechanics, absolutely dial into that one. But again, not entirely necessary because we do actually have a Mon Mothma node right at the end for bonuses, which will be able to farm for a bit more kills than normal. Alright, so I know this battle's showing a Sector 3, I'm just showing you how you'd get it done if you get yourself a crew node within Sector 2. This is the team that we'll be using, CLS with Han Solo, C-3PO, Old Ben, and Kyle Katarn. Now I'm using a data disk setup of Amplify Agnes with Volatile Accelerator. I've got Voluntary Vanguard to target overall onto Old Ben, but that's not entirely necessary. What we're doing here is basically killing all the ads, starting off with General Hux, because he will prevent our turn meter games and we want to stop that at all costs. Yeah, kill General Hux, and then you want to just kill off the allies, and then you can put it on full auto. Isn't that wonderful? So let's just get this around. So C-3PO, he does confuse on his basic and on his special. His special will also put potency up on himself, which is just fabulous. You can see crew there is just sort of standing around, completely ignoring all of the nasty pain that's coming his way. Then Kyle Katarn over here, his first special will pass crit chance up and potency up to all allies for 2 turns. Boom, there's that potency up that we're all looking for. And right now, we can just about, I imagine, yeah, we can ignore you, get rid of Phasma, and then First Order Stormtrooper, and then it's just full auto, okay? Just leave this on full auto. Provided you don't have anything that's going to be ramping your offense over time, you should never be able to kill Kylo Ren. So you're just going to leave it here. Everybody's going to get to triple stacks of translation. Old Ben's going to be gaining potency up whenever he does a basic. C-3PO is going to be passing confusion all the time. Kyle Katarn's going to be passing out potency up to his entire ally team every time he uses his first special. You should have absolutely no problems doing this and doing it rather well. It would be great if we could get even more attacks out of turn from C-3PO, so if you've got something like the Perseverance data disk that lets him attack additionally when he attacks out of turn, then maybe throwing in someone like, you know, Hermit Yoda or something to call mass assists with Master's Training or something like that might help you eke out an additional confuse or 2 along the way. But doing something like this, you can get it done in just one battle, just plowing away, getting those confusion stacks up there. You'll absolutely get all of the potency stacks that you need without any issues whatsoever. And yeah, there's absolutely no harm. No harm in doing this whatsoever. It's a very easy thing. It's completely brainless, and you'll be done very, very quickly. Now, if you didn't actually have a node to get that done, a crew node like I didn't have a crew node to get that done, you can still use the Mon Mothma bonus node at the end. I accidentally threw in GMY here instead of going in with Kyle Katarn. That's not too much of an issue. You should still be able to farm out doing the exact same thing with the bonus node over here. You've got the likes of Xaereth Rebel Pathfinder out there. He is going to be giving you a source of constant revives. The only problem with this team is that Mon Mothma's summon, of course, does do this rather irritating thing of dispelling all of your buffs when it does an attack. So that can be a little bit frustrating, which means you do need to have Voluntary Vanguard, forcing that taunt over to Old Ben, so that he doesn't, that guy doesn't start stripping away all of the translation that you've got on your team. GMY is useful here. It's useful. Maybe you could drop out someone like Han Solo, throw in Kyle Katarn, keeping in Old Ben, then you'll be constantly be able to spread the buffs, spreading potency up after Kyle Katarn has spread it to the rest of the team. So you'll absolutely get it done in lightning fast time. So yeah, pretty good teams to get it done. You've got lots of answers to this. Don't stress about these 2 feats, guys. For the Empire kills, we're going in against the Mon Mothma node again. I'm using Volatile Accelerator, couple of Amplify Agonies over here, Ruthless Offense, and Unstable Decelerator. The idea behind this is we're actually going to be taking in Iden Versio and Scout Trooper. Yeah, just those 2. Just those 2. So, I know it sounds odd. I mean, you could take in more if you really wanted to. You could take in more, but I just want to show like the basis of how this strategy works, okay? So Scout Trooper over there is going to stealth himself. All right, he's going to stealth himself so he won't be able to be killed, leaving just Iden Versio out in the open. And Iden Versio is then just never going to die, because when she dies, she'll just revive. And what we want to try and do is actually deal AoE damage and hopefully take out Mon Mothma with the damage over times that we've got running over there. Or after a couple of AoEs from our good girl Iden. It's really not so bad. If you have Ruthless Swiftness as well, that's even better. So let's go ahead, just do some of this. Scout Trooper should eventually stealth. Iden Versio is gaining turn meter as well, which is fantastic. It helps her take turns, because we want her taking turns to have a good time. Now I'm going to just use the special ability here. I know this takes a little bit of time to set up. I'm aware of that. But trust me on this, eventually we will start making some progress. So again, I'll do an AoE here. This is going to be ramping our offense because everybody is dropping below. And then Xaereth Prevails Pathfinder over there has revived. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it magical? Now let's keep on going. We'll get call to assist. Boop. There we go. Extra kill there. Lovely. Oh, Iden's dead. She's back. I love that this only uses 2 characters and it works perfectly acceptably. Absolutely love it. If there was something that I could throw on her to make her take more passive turns, I really would, but unfortunately we're not in a position to ask for even more on top. Now, the only thing that can go wrong is if you do a nice big AoE and like everybody dies. That's one thing you don't want to have happen, because we do have some ramping offense here. You just want to be able to kill, you know, kind of most things rather than everythings. You know what I mean? I mean, what you could do is you could just leave it here and then focus exclusively on trying to take out Xaereth Prevails Pathfinder with basics. But as you can see, we're not really generating a whole lot of turn meter anymore. So if we can, let's look to try and kill some of the enemies. So as soon as she takes another turn, I think she should have her AoE available, which is precisely what we're looking for. Come on now, Iden. Come on now, Iden. Let me have a turn. Oh man, did they... Yeah, Bistan over there just stripped away all of the turn meter. Very rude of you. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. That's what we're looking for. The daze is a little bit unfortunate. It's gone now, though. Boop. Lovely. Stop dazing me. Very rude. Very rude. We'll do the big old hit here. There we go. That's more like it. That is absolutely more like it. Yep, it's quite alright if you kill her, and we can just focus on Xaereth Prevails Pathfinder. You see how Scout, he gets hit, and then he goes straight back into stealth. So, essentially, they can never kill us. Not really. You might have a little bit of an unlucky situation where they do, but it's unlikely that that happens. Yeah, let's just basic over here. Boom, we're now one-tapping Xaereth Prevails Pathfinder. At least with Iden we are. And I'm sure over time, perhaps our good lad, Scout Trooper, will also start one-tapping. Come on now. Come on now. I don't really want to do the AoE just yet. I'm going to wait until she revives. If she revives, what's his face? Xaereth Prevails, rather. Then I'll use the AoE. But as you can see, we've gotten quite a few kills here with Empire. Yes, you can do this as you are gradually progressing through the phases, but if you're trying to be efficient with the number of battles that you want to have done, helps let you focus on other things like the global feats, for example, then I feel like this is a relatively good solution for people. Now, obviously, you could take in a bigger team, but I find they tend to just die anyway. So why not just have a little bit of fun with your Scout Trooper just stealthing his way to glory? A little bit dubious there, so let's actually get the we adapt or die running just to protect our Scout Trooper. Let's go with the big AoE. Let's see how it goes. Boop! Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Very nearly kills everybody. Obviously, the Amplify Agonies are doing the lion's share of the damage there, but ultimately, we get quite a few kills. I'll go back and count, and I'll have a little pop-up to say how many kills we actually had from doing this afterwards. Yeah, man. And of course, we are not actually winning this battle here. We might actually win eventually if we ramp up enough offense, but who knows. Bounty Hunter teams then, moving swiftly on. We're going to take a look now, and there are a couple of teams you can do this, but really it depends on the depth of your roster. Obviously, I'm going to start off with something that doesn't use a GL. We're using Boss Cleed here. I'm using Fennec with OG Mando and Grief. Okay, you don't need Fennec in this team. Don't worry about that. And we also have Django in this team, obviously. I'm using it against this node just to show that you can still farm the bonus node, so you're not just wasting your energy. You know, you can still wait until the end of the sector, just farm the bonus node, and this team will still work. You've got Mando there to provide you with a source of permanent death so that the enemy can't revive. Django is also able to do that with his rocket. This one here, I'm not actually using Amplify Agony. I'm just using protection based data discs, stuff like I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, they recover protection when we get critically hit and stuff like that. It's not necessary, guys. It's not none of it is actually necessary. You can do it with Amplify Agony. You can do it with anything that you want, really, provided you're able to survive. So yeah, this takes a little bit of time just because of the node I chose, but a standard boss team will actually get you those victories. And the only other thing I would really say, I don't want to really give away too much. I don't want to try and split people too thin, if you know what I mean, when it comes to bounty hunters. So I'll just say that a Jabba the Hutt team is another team that will obviously be able to get this done very, very easily. Again, Jabba the Hutt, the very same node. You'll see the stark difference in damage output now. We just sort of throw out a grenade and like everybody just kind of gets wrecked, to be honest. This one whizzed with Amplify Agony, which obviously helps. But Jabba the Hutt, standard Hutt cartel. I obviously don't take in Skiffguard Lando because he's not a bounty hunter, okay? We have dealt with the sector feats. Let's take a look at the boss feats. So we've got defeat an enemy with Scout Trooper and then defeat win with only light side characters. Okay, I won't give you a guide for light side characters because I'm sure you've got the solutions to that. Just throw in something like Gas, I'm sure you'll be fine. If you have something like Rebels, CLS, that sort of thing, any of your light side GLs, absolutely fine. With the Scout Trooper, I just find it's easiest to just go in with Imperial Troopers. All right. So here we go. We've got a standard Imperial Trooper team here. I'm going with the Veers and the Piet setup, but obviously throwing in Scout Trooper as the fifth. Now you want to try and get any kill with your Scout Trooper, which should be relatively easy. Now I did kind of get a little bit dazed because, you know, AoE attacks with voluntary a volatile accelerator does dots and that forces Malak to taunt. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, perhaps that wasn't the smartest thing for me to do. So my Scout Trooper was dazed just for a little, not dazed, sorry, was feared just for a little bit. But once you get rid of Malak and stuff like that, yeah, you lose a unit. It's okay though. I'm not too worried about getting a clean victory here. All we're looking to do is target someone like Sith Assassin and bop. There you go. After this, Dark Trooper does his work because he's incredibly powerful. And whoop. Oh, we nearly got 2 kills here with Scout Trooper. It could work. It could work, no problem. Moving swiftly on then to round up. We need to go to the boss node, we need to win with JTR surviving, and we need to win without using any Jedi, Sith, or unaligned Force users. So again, we're going to have to split our teams here, because Rey is an unaligned Force user. Big sad. Alright, let's take a look at how we're going to do this. We only need JTR to survive. So just take in a CLS team, drop C-3PO and put JTR in her stead, and then, like, just win. Target Resistance Hero Finn, and you just die. Again, we're using that Voluntary Vanguard. We're using Volatile Accelerator and our Amplify Agony setup here. Strip off that protection, just one at a time. Go around, defeat these guys, and you shouldn't have too many issues. Boom, 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 just down to Zori. JTR hasn't even taken a turn. I don't expect her to actually take a turn. There we go, just down to Resistance Hero Poe now. I probably should have dazed him, but, you know, who's counting, right? Easy way of getting that JTR victory without any losses. 3 stars. Beautiful. So for the unaligned Force user team, you can just throw in a Hutt Cartel, Jabba the Hutt team, but I'm obviously not going to just say, hey, use a GL. So I've gone for a GG8 team here. I accidentally put Droideka in instead of B2. Use B2, not Droideka, because, you know, he's got the bonus turns and the dispels on the AoE, whereas Droidica just sits there like a roly boy fool. I also should have dispelled with the second special there with Maggie, but obviously doing the correct moves was not my prerogative at this time. Instead, I was just focused on apparently mashing buttons and hoping for the best. However, we still actually managed to win with this team because General Grievous with an Amplify Agony setup just does, quite frankly, ridiculous levels of damage, even for my rather pathetically geared General Grievous team. So, Zori, you can get out of here as well, honey. Adios, hasta luego, hasta pronto. And then, boom, Resistance Hero Finn is gone as well. Again, if you've got Jabba the Hutt, just use a full Jabba the Hutt Hutt Cartel team. You'll get it, no problem. Grievous over here is using our Unaligned Force users. Brilliant, fantastic. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to about do it for our Sector 2 feat guide. I hope some of the cheese in this one was useful to you. If it was, please make sure you've hit that like button and subscribe. I'm pushing for 10k subs. Please help a brother out. I will see you all in the next video. Peace out. May the Force be with you.